I'll use my Quarian voice then.
Oh, you use your Quarian
Good.
voice for Ron? I'm not going over.
No.
I mean,
I can't think of a good voice for my character because the thing is I was thinking I would do another game with a more femme character, which would have a higher pitch. But no, I'm gonna stick with my regular register.
Oh, that's fine,
I
honey.
have the issue of that this character's art is Link, and all I can do then is go, yeah! I just do a double take on that and was just like, oh, wait, it's the big jab.
To be fair, that I could be an L. And that G is close enough to an O.
I thought you were talking about hip new pop artist Belo. They called their first album the Blow.
It's not me. My shade of purple is
different.
different.
We know who it is.
Okay, making sure. Oh.
Oh, big.
Decorum, yeah.
Oh, do we get to bully Skylar? Can we just ask Skylar a bunch of questions?
Are we asking questions?
Wait. How am I going to click my token?
Good.
Yeah, we have no token to click.
Oh. Okay, thank you.
But I got a 21. Yay! Yay! We'll just do what we did to Helena the time that we did this.
My love continues.
Let me click my token.
I tried, but it wouldn't send it.
Oh, okay. I pressed the wrong button on my mouse. I'm sorry.
Yes,
okay.
Oh, that's a big number.
First time. What the fuck?
It's because I rolled the best. I am God.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh.
Paul, why is your character dead again?
Blowing that question already.
Well, to
because
be fair,
I am literally one good hit away from death at all times.
I believe
she is literally a poke away from death.
I'm having stuff taken away from me, I'm sure of it.
I need water, I'll be right back.
Oh, where do I put
Uh-oh.
Yes, I am.
Right, okay, let me check. Is that fine? That's fine? That's fine. Okay. Right, I'm going to just repeat what I said. So, we are going to go through we're going to all roll turn, and then everyone, when it comes your point on the initiative tracker, you get to ask one question for one other player in the group. Or you can ask the DM a question. It doesn't have to just be players. You can ask me a question if that's what you want, okay?
Okay.
So, I know that Tara stepped away. Alex, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Right, so Alex, you are first on the turn tracker. So
Okay, so
please
as I
ask
rub
one
my
question.
hands menacingly, because I have the power to bully either Skylar or Caitlin with these questions.
Why are you bullying?
Oh no!
I have options here. Before I just bullied Helena with questions.
Yeah, you did.
Ooh.
Everyone bullied me. It was
Yeah, I started the train of asking Helena questions, and then everyone in the party asked her a question.
Yeah, because it was the fucking easy target. But
You made it easy. See, that's why I play characters that just tell everyone what's going on, so they don't have to ask
Easy,
questions.
being easy.
So, okay. Actually, I'll make this even more fun.
Please, not me.
I've known you longer, Caitlin. Heads or tails? Evens or
oh,
odds?
here we go. This is how I like it.
Tails.
So odds. All right, so Skylar.
What?
Well,
So if I recall correctly, your character is a Warpling. Yeah, I believe you said you were a Hellhound.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hellhound Warpling, and you are a Soul Knife Rogue. So I understand the general gist of why you're kind of why you're you've kind of gone into thievery. But why don't you go into do you mind going into just a little bit more detail as to why you fully settled on becoming a thief in particular? What led you down the way to using your psionics to become a rogue, as opposed to a wide variety of psi mages, supposedly?
Oh God. Put on me.
Question. That's a good question.
Thievery sort of became like a weird coping mechanism for losing people, so it became sort of if I can't have anyone, then at least something can be still there. However, there's like this weird sort of thing where I guess they sort of take things that people don't necessarily need for whatever reason. But basically their abandonment stems from their parents leaving them, so they basically grew up on the streets and sort of kind of homeless. So they basically kind of grew up stealing, kind of.
That really hits me where I live.
Wait, what?
I was homeless for a time. That hits me where I live.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I like it. I like that angle you're going for. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I really like it.
It does. It's a good angle. It's an easy one that I think people can understand, and it's a good jumping off point. So that's your question. So Scullery, it is your turn. Kara, you may ask anyone, including the DM, one question. It has to be related to D&D or their character. So please ask away.
Why is it so short?
I guess I would ask Alex, since our characters are supposed to know each other. How is it that you were able to convince me that I had? I guess how were you able to convince me that I had this shadow bond ability?
Ooh, okay.
Considering that I grew up thinking that I'm a drow.
So I actually thought a little bit about this, and you can shoot this down. I've been meaning to message you about it, Kara, but unfortunately, life has been life, and I've been very busy. I just got insurance today, or signed up for insurance today. So, yeah, I'll have insurance May 1st, and I can go see why I'm dying. So specifically, how I kind of imagined it, because you brought it up at one point, and I had been thinking about it occasionally, not as much as I honestly wanted to, but my general idea was that I imagine he grew up on a planet after the rift happened thousands of years ago, obviously, but I imagine he lived in a very tight-knit group of Twi'lets that had a meshing of all three surviving clans.
Yeah.
And that his family line, specifically his bloodline, was one that got corrupted and tainted by the rift, that tore apart the planet essentially.
The Ender?
Yeah, the Ender.
Yeah.
But the planet itself was torn apart by a psychic rift or whatever.
Yeah,
or
it's called
rift.
the Architect's Wound.
The Architect one. There we go. So it kind of meant that he was, as a default, pushed into the Kana's ways of teaching and stuff like that, the combat-oriented things, because he quite literally has the power to influence corpses. But he would have had some experience with the other two tribes and how they did things, because they would still be relatively not close-knit, but it's kind of in the sense that it's like, so he just finished watching some Clone Wars as well earlier. Essentially, different Jedis with their Padawans. He essentially would be a Padawan to a more warrior-based one, but still had interactions with the Latey and the other one, the not cool one.
Yeah.
They're all cool, Tara.
They're all cool.
Yeah. So I imagine when he finally decided to set out and do things at the ripe young age of 39, I believe is what I have his age at. 35, riper young age.
Slightly more ripe.
Yeah. When he left, because I imagine we'd known each other for at least some time before the events of this. I imagine when he left, I honestly like to imagine there was like a kind of crossing where they kind of bumped, like they bumped into each other essentially, and he immediately recognized what you were, but you obviously wouldn't recognize him because he doesn't look like a drow. But he would have sensed some level of kinship and familiarity, and would have probably pestered you a lot more. Probably would have definitely pestered Scullery a lot more, until I imagine through like just sheer like just him pestering and asking, trying to poke and see what they can do, would eventually lead to him saying like, well, if you were part of the Kana's clan, you'd be much more of a warrior. You would manifest your powers on your blades and stuff, and didn't seem like that. Like you manifest your powers and your blades in your own way, but not in the same way that he would. I imagine he kind of cycled through which tribes it would have been until he set on the Latey and was like, well, these are some things that you should be able to do if you just like establish this connection with yourself, like the deep within you kind of deal, and would have pushed you to do more self-exploration. Thus, potentially drawing Scullery to the ability to jump into people's shadows. But I still imagine it's one of those things where she's like, no, just all drow can do this.
Yeah, all drow know how to do this. Yeah.
All drow can do it.
I want to imagine like throughout all the poking and prodding, like it's ruined several of Scullery's like cons that they've tried to pull.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
That's good though. I like that. That's good reasoning.
Yeah.
That's good reasoning.
Yeah, I like it.
Right, well then we will move on to Camellia. I said it right. I've been practicing because I suck at names. So, Camellia, you can ask a question to myself or any other player about something to do with their character.
Alright, I want to know a thing about Scullery.
Oh no.
So, obviously, as a Twilight Exile, you have Sunlight Ultra Sensitivity.
Yes.
Also, you believed you were a drow.
Yep.
Yes.
And while drow do have sunlight sensitivity, I think it would have been noticeable that they don't literally start dying. So how did Scullery in their mind rationalize their ultra sensitivity from the perspective of being a drow?
It's honestly not too far from what Alex said. It's not so much an allergy. They just believed that it was just a a rare condition. No one could seem to explain it because of the fact that Twilight Elves are so extremely rare that some don't believe that they exist, that no one knew an explanation for it. So the ability to actually rationalize why it was happening couldn't actually be explained. So it's just something that they believed is just something that they were born with, and it's just a extremely rare drow disorder.
You thought you got it worse than the other drow. They
Yeah,
just don't
basically.
like the light, but you got it even worse.
Yeah, and that's kind of why they were abandoned in the first place, is because they kind of assumed that their family was one that might have frequented the surface quite a bit, and they couldn't necessarily take me up there and risk me dying. So they just kind of abandoned me, and I was just taken in by another family, and it just so happened to be another family that spent far more time in the Underdark.
Chosen Family by Rina Sawayama plays in the distance.
That's a good rationalization of it, and staying in the character mindset of your character believing they're a drow and that they're not actually a Twilight Elf. Right, that's good. So, Devon Paracus, Praxis. I keep saying Paracus because it's a K, but yeah.
B.A. Baracus.
B.A. Paracus. You may ask one question to myself or any other player in the group. What is your question?
To be honest, this was very sudden,
Good.
and
That's the point.
I was not prepared. And I
don't think any of us were prepared.
I don't think I have any questions of any kind to ask anybody when I don't know anything to ask.
There's absolutely nothing you want to know about the world, the characters, at all.
When I haven't been exposed to any of it yet, I don't know what to ask.
Okay.
But you were exposed to all of us in session 0. Is there nothing you want to learn more about?
Session 0 was a lot.
I did learn. It's one thing talking about them, and it's another thing to be in it.
Devon's like, it did nothing for me.
This is remember. This is an exercise that that's supposed to help us get into the mindset of our characters before jumping into a game.
Yeah, that's what I want you to get into, Devon. Because the reason I stole this, I'm going to be honest. The reason I stole this is because obviously we have Sky with us, who's a newer player, and stuff like this is a good exercise for them.
Fucking newbie.
But I also did this because I believe this would be a good exercise for you, Devon. Because Devon, given time, you can think things out. But when sometimes put on the spot, you freeze up and you get a bit unsure. So that's why I'm doing this, to try and help you progress, to be able to think about things on the fly.
Pants on my character. He's naked.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to let you off this time, Devon. But what I'm going to say is the next time we do this, because we will be doing this again, I want you to have a question, okay?
Well, I think I will have a question after a session.
Okay, no problem. All right, so, Sky, it's on you now. You can ask one question related to D&D and the campaign, the characters, to myself or any other person in the group here. What is your question?
Since Devon had no questions for anybody, I'm going to ask Devon about his character.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Good. Bully him. Do it.
Bully that nerd.
I'm going to punch you.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What would you like
feel
to
a thing.
Yeah.
Well, tell us your character's backstory, where they come from.
I did actually tell that last time, but I'll refresh.
They've been asked. You've been asked, where does your character come from?
What was the name of the planet? I think that was in your lore. You said it last time, but I don't think I memorized it.
You are. Let me get my file open and I'll check it, because I know the world that you're on, because you're on. You are, oddly enough, on the exact same world as Sky. Or you are from the exact same world as Sky. I think it's Hyperia. I'm just gonna double check.
Hyperion?
Yeah, it was Hyperion.
Hyperion, yeah. because it's
Hyperia or Hyperion?
Hyperion, because it's a Borderlands reference.
Like the gun
What the
company.
fuck is drawing
Yes.
on the board?
It's a Borderlands reference. That's exactly what it is. Hyperion.
You only get one question,
Really?
Sky.
Yes, it is a Borderlands reference. Yeah, it was a dumb Borderlands reference I made.
I can't ask who's drawing on the. Okay, whatever.
Okay, so Devon,
But yeah, I was he grew up in sort of not I wouldn't call it like a Badlandsy area, but certainly not the fun place. And he was told not to, as it were, look directly into the sun, and may have stared a little too long, a little too closely, and gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I hate to stare into the sun too much.
He stared into a giant rift in reality that people tell you not to stare into. Your character would have been told the exact same thing, Sky, because your character comes from the same world. So your character would have been told, yeah, don't just stare into that thing because bad stuff happens. And you may have probably listened. Devon, on the other hand, chose to just look at it. This is exactly why I do this exercise, is because Tara did it, and I thought it was a really good way of doing a warm up, especially for RP.
I'm sorry, I used the wrong color. There we go.
So this is a good way to warm up, especially for
Gay
role play.
Russ.
For role plays and for people to know,
It doesn't recognize my tablet pen, so here.
He literally stared at an eclipse.
Yeah.
This is correct.
So this is gonna be happening.
Gays are us.
I'm probably gonna be introducing this into other campaigns as well. So be aware of this. This is gonna be something that's gonna be happening. And I've let Devon off this once, but I'm not gonna let anyone off again on, I don't have anything to ask, or I don't want to ask anything. Okay?
Thanks, Devon. You ruined it for me.
There's an album called Staring to the Sun.
It was all part
Right.
of the plan, Caitlin.
Yeah.
So, that being said, Caitlin, it's your turn. You can ask myself.
Can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
I did kind of have something, but I chose not to for Caitlin's sake, because I was just going to say, you know what, Caitlin, let's hear the voice.
But that's not about the character.
Yeah, that's not about the character.
It's not, but it's all I had.
I mean, you literally don't want to know anything about any of the characters.
It's not that I don't want to know, it's that I know things, and I would like to experience, and then I can have questions when I know
And
things.
like I said, I'm letting him off this one, but he has to for the next one. So Caitlin, though, it is your turn. You can ask myself or or anyone in here one question related to their character. Go.
Are there space dinosaurs, Hex?
There are not space dinosaurs.
God damn it. Okay.
There will be stuff that use the stats for dinosaurs that are presented in D&D, but they are not actual dinosaurs.
I was just like, are there any really cool oddball planets?
I mean,
That's
like an
two
underwater
questions.
planet?
That
or
is two
something?
questions, isn't it?
If we look through the list of planets, every planet has what I refer to as something that makes it oddball. So, Tzion itself is a massive utopia planet made up of cities. There are very few areas of Greenland in Tzion, and it's a melting pot of every single culture from the Astral Alliance. So it's got any kind of culture that you can think of from the Astral Alliance, it's there. You've already seen that there are gangs of people that come from New Harlem, and there are gangs of people that are members of the Seven Samurai and are basically a samurai, the Seven Dragons that are basically a samurai weeb gang, and that there are people who are all about corporate industrialization. So that's Tzion. Galatea is essentially almost the exact opposite. It's a world of vast jungles and deserts and forests with walled-off cities. So everyone here has seen Attack on Titan. Imagine if there was an entire planet where it was just that, except there were multiple walled-off cities.
So it's just Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
I saw the first season of
So it's just Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
I've seen 2 seasons of the show.
I only saw the first season, and then
I only saw the
told
first
me they were
season.
bad.
It's okay. You didn't miss out on much.
Well, then,
Yeah.
but then you understand the concept. That's Galatea. Galatea is that world, and the reason they have it like that is because there are horrific monsters that live in that world. That they tried
I
to.
kind of
wipe
want to go to that world.
Wait, so Helena,
Yes.
what you're telling me is that it's like the land where what is it? The lion grew up on.
Yes, it's Caliban. It's cooler Caliban because I haven't blown it up yet. And then so yeah, then Argonaut is let me just double check it. Argonaut is like a close to Earth world, where it's a mix of cities and wildlands and such. It's the world where your Rift Elves came from. It's the only one that I could describe as kind of like relatively normal by our standards. And then Eucerus, Eucerus is a giant world where bear people live. And it's currently suffering from the fact that you got because humans exist on Argonaut. Psionic humans exist on Argonaut, and they're the humans of Zion. Rift Elves are just like your normal kind of elf kind of equivalent, essentially.
Alright.
Yeah. And then so Eucerus is a planet where it's almost its entire mass is forests, but people want to now tear down that world because there's so much forest that it's got plenty of lumber.
Also, the bears are trusting.
Yes.
Bears just want friends.
They just want to have picnics with everybody.
Jersey is the exact opposite of Eucerus.
Yes.
It's a world where it's just water with very few land masses, and it has shark people on it.
Does that mean they're just Wookiees?
Yes, essentially.
Are there also underwater cities, or is it just on land, like small towns?
No. There's underwater cities. That's where your people live. The people of
In my head, I had a picture. There'd be like a mix of like there's smaller like land areas that are maybe more like towns.
But they live mainly in the morning.
Yeah.
Under the water. Hyperion is basically a world constantly being bombarded by psionic energy from a massive rift in the sky, where it warps the landscape so that sometimes you might walk past a tree and it's grown a tentacle and it's attacking you. Sky, calm down.
Wait, what?
Oh, shit, Sky.
Twilight is gone. Twilight is nothing. So that's the interesting fact about...
That's not true. That's impossible.
And then, of course, you have, I think it's Oberex. I can't see it on my note. Oberex, which is a world very similar to what Twilight used to be, where it's perpetually in darkness. It has a lot of daylight time, because a day on Oberex is actually 72 hours. And it means that the people that live in Oberex have to live underground. It's where the Illithids come from, and it's where the Gif, the Alfur, which is the Gif equivalent in this world, come from as well. And so everything that lives there has to live underground because of the how long the days are and how horrific it is. So all the planets have something interesting about them, or at least I've tried to make all the planets have something interesting about them. But yeah,
I look forward to it.
There we go, and that's everyone.
I'm glad someone corrected my hair.
And that's everyone has asked their questions, and we're going on to the actual beginning of the literal game now. So I'm going to move you over to the actual starting map.
Whoa! It's the Robo bodyguard waifus with the huge tits.
Yes, it
Whoa,
is.
those are huge titties.
It's all
Those
we want
are
is
huge. Those are average.
Average.
Listen,
Average for anime, maybe.
Yeah, average for anime, I would say.
But
I'd be a much happier man if every woman I came across just...
That being said, most women that I've come across have very huge knockers, but that's...
those don't exist in Iowa.
I can
They're
feel.
banned from
I can
Iowa.
feel Tara's glares on you as we speak.
No, there's no glares.
Oh,
Huge mommy milkers.
Are you
Doubt.
sure?
Or as I like to
Doubt.
say, mommy milkies.
okay. So what I'm going
Thanks, Freud.
What I'm going to do now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you all the setup of what's going to happen, and we're actually going to start, and we'll have our first character interactions with what's going on. So,
Sounds good to me.
all of your characters at some point in the last few weeks were interacted with via messages, digital messages, from an individual referring to themselves as the broker. The broker has spoken to all of your characters to say to them, listen, there's a big deal going on soon. I want you to come to meet the person arranging this deal, and I feel like there's some work that you could do for us. And if you do, you're going to be paid 500 gold, and you're going to all get to something more valuable than that. And for one reason or another, your characters have all piqued. This has piqued all of your characters' interests, and you agreed to meet. And this is where you are meeting. You are meeting in a shipping warehouse in the warehouse district of Tzion. Some of you may be very familiar with this area because you may have
Somewhere there's a guy missing an arm.
Somewhere there's a guy missing an arm. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use the roles that you already have. I'm going to get rid of Scullery, because I'm assuming Scullery and Zol are going to come in together, because they know each other. So, yeah.
Well, real quick, is it day or night?
It is night.
So, okay, so in daytime, Zol has like long ornate hood, like robes, and then wears a mask during the day.
Fancy! Look at you.
Just so he can hide himself.
Okay, that's
yeah,
good.
That's why I was asking for the same reason.
That's good. Don't worry. I've tried to take into account your stuff, and there'll be times when it's a bad thing, and there'll be times when you'll be fine. So, Zol, you and Alex will, you and Scullery will appear at the same time. So please drag your characters on, and we will actually begin the games.
Boop. Characters here.
I can't see. I have gone blind.
Oh, it's a damn shame.
I guess I should put my glasses back on. Okay, there we go.
Now, see, I could lay on the Brooklyn accent mega thick.
God, don't do that.
Do it. I want to hear it now.
Okay.
But see, Kara gave their character the perfect name.
Scullery.
Hey, Scullery.
Hey, Scullery, come over here.
Come over here.
Walking here.
I'll show you my grandmama.
Go.
Anyway.
I'm going to drown myself in your shadow if you don't stop.
No, I know. I won't. I imagine Twilight's have a very unique way of talking.
Like a New Yorker.
So yes, you both appear at the same time. You would see that you are in the warehouse district. You probably maybe went through many different warehouses to get to this point, but you see that this is the one on the message that you were sent. This is the one that you are supposed to come to.
Scullery, do you think that this would be the place that they want us to meet?
It seems like it could be the place. We've tried the other places, but
I know you were rather unhappy with me checking every single warehouse in the district, but I had to make doubly sure that
I'm more unhappy with you having to fight all the guards.
Well,
So, I'm just going to stop you a second there, because as you get to there, you would see the individuals. So you would see these are Elven Elves. They're wearing exactly as what they're wearing, but each one of them seems to be had their arms. Each one of them has had their arms from their elbow to their hands replaced with cybernetics, and each one is wielding a shotgun. One of them kind of this one over here points it towards.
Wait, hold on. I think certain people are losing.
Okay,
connections.
you can tell me that they're threatening as much.
What was that?
No, you're just gonna put your face there and go. Brrr.
What was that, Devin? You were saying something to me.
It sounded like some people were needing to reconnect for a second. And some
No,
like,
it was just Hex.
Okay, well, I've reconnected.
Okay.
So can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
we
now.
can hear you, honey.
So they've got
Okay.
guns trained on us, is what you're saying.
Yes, particularly that one right there. So I'll say it again. You come in into the area and you see these, and they look exactly like that. They're wearing this very fancy kind of business suit kind of look attire. They all wielding shotguns, and you notice each and every one of them has below their elbow to their fingertips. It's been replaced with cybernetics. They all have cybernetic arms, and that one particularly points a shotgun at the two of you when you get that close and says, "State your name and your business."
So I want to specify this specifically because as you know, Mike Token has no shirt on.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I like death.
Yeah. I imagine he generally wears his robes to hide his markings, and he only will put the hood up when the sun's out.
Yeah.
But I imagine that because he has long hand sides, essentially finger claws.
Mm-hmm.
He generally you don't see his hands from his robes, so his robes kind of overlap his hands a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just so he has the floppy sleeves. Essentially, he's got very long sleeves. Makes for the hilariousness of his claws just poking out of them later on when he fights.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. And he will just kind of look at her and just and say, "Oh," and he'll wave with his floppy sleeves, and we'll go. My name is Zol, and this is my companion Scullery. We were just strolling through the neighborhood. I'm sorry if getting too close made you a little nervous. So lovely night. Wouldn't you agree?
You would notice at that point, instead of the gun being actually pointed at you, they lower it to their side. They move their finger to be in more of a disciplined position, and they'll say, so Zol and Scullery, yes, you're on the list. You don't need to tell us that you're just out for a stroll. I know that's a lie. You're here to meet our manager. Just wait by the fountain. There are others that are supposed to be coming. Do you have any weapons on you before we allow you entrance?
I have 2 sets of weapons, yes. Hidden somewhere on my body they are.
What about your companion? You. What weapons do you have on you?
I also have a few weapons on me.
You didn't tell me about them?
You didn't ask.
I thought you trusted me.
I trust you enough to use you.
are you just writer?
You used me for character development.
Zol will just be like, fair enough, I suppose, Scullery. You and I make quite the fearsome duo at times. And he'll just kind of happily canter, I guess is the proper term, over to the fountain and take a seat on it.
What I will say is, both of you would notice that you look around the elves and they go, hold on, every one of these elves look exactly the same. I'm just gonna point that out. This isn't just, this is me using tokens. No, each and every one of these elves looks exactly the same.
Hey, Nurse
He'll
Joy.
shoot
Hey,
his hand
Officer
up.
Jenny.
He'll shoot his hand up like he's gonna ask a question. Like, excuse me, ma'am, are you quadruplets?
One of the one closest over here looks over to the other one over here, who then shoots a look to this one over here, who then shoots a look to this one, and then back to the original, and says, "No, we're not quintuplets or whatever it is you think we are. We are designed to look like this?
Well, they did an A-OK job.
Roll charisma.
Uh-oh.
Straight charisma. That one just kind of just glares at you, but the one by the door gives a slight smile. Right, okay, so we have Addix and Scullery, the duo, and now it's Camelia's turn to appear.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Boy!
Uh,
Boy!
Can I? You're making fun of me. Oh boy. All right.
I was here first.
You come in here. I roll initiative.
I am rolling
Into my home.
first. This is how you pay me?
Can I come from any direction, or does
Any
it have
direction? No, it
Great.
could be any
Better when you
direction.
can only come from.
Yes,
I'm glad you heard
can.
me as I said that under my voice.
I heard you. I heard that.
She comes off the rooftop.
Oh no.
Oh no!
I walk out the front door.
You walk out of the way.
Game ends.
I'm gonna come from down there.
Okay, go ahead. So you would pop up there. For the sake of the two characters that would see you, can you just give a description of what your character looks like?
I am a colorful plant. I'll get more descriptive than that.
You're a plant.
Yeah, Camellia is a plant girl or a floron, or if they're called something different.
No, exact same name.
Zion.
Exact same name.
Okay, she's a floron, so she's got like kind of a lighter pink. It's just kind of like small vine strands, if that makes sense. They have little blossoms at the ends, and she's got vines and such across her body. The clothing she wears, and I didn't run this by you, Helena, so let me know if it's okay, would be made of like other plant materials. It's kind of an organic mass of things.
Hemp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I 100% am fine with that. 100%.
And it's
100% hemp.
Yeah, and it's just as colorful as she is. She has a very like effeminate look to her. Something uncommon amongst plants, I assume.
Actually, plants are pretty colorful.
This does make me have the mind breaking question though of, is it okay for a plant person to be wearing plants?
It is to her.
Okay.
It is now.
Yeah.
Great question.
Because I
Good
was
answer.
thinking, like, is that not like a person wearing someone else's skin? I don't know. There's some ethics in this now. I'm happy.
I mean,
It's
so
okay. They weren't real people.
She could
Here's
just take
the
her
thing,
foliage,
though.
take like
Mhm.
clothes shape.
Yeah, go on, Tara.
You don't have to kill plants. She might have just convinced them to,
Kill themselves.
cover it.
Actually, you do raise a good point. You don't have to convince. You don't have to kill plants. You could have convinced it. Hey, hop on.
Yeah,
Get in,
essentially.
losers.
Like, I'm gonna go burgle a place.
That's kind of what I think is she has told these plants and given them an idea of how to kind of dress herself in order to appear how would be expected in this society.
I like that. I actually like that. That's a really interesting take on it. So yes, you have now appeared. You would notice that before you, there seems to be two individuals that seem to look to you like Twilight Elves, sat on the fountain, and there seems to be a series of the Mommy Milker secretaries wielding shotguns, standing around the entrance of this warehouse. Do what you do.
All right, what is my purpose for being here?
Sorry, say that again.
What is my purpose for being here?
So you have the exact same as everyone else. You were contacted by an individual called the Broker that said that they were looking. There was a deal going down and a job that needed to be done, and that you had a set of skills that would be that would work for this job. And they've offered to pay you 500 gold and supply you with items that are more valuable than that if you would come to this warehouse. Maybe you don't actually want to take the job. Maybe you just want to see who it was, because they said that the individual that lined up the job is going to be here.
Can I make a performance check?
Yes, you can.
As I strut down the street past them towards the front door.
Go ahead. Make me that performance check for that strut. Do your little turn on the catwalk.
It shouldn't have been an advantage. I don't know why I'm...
Is this the same person that calls Agent 47? That's a curiosity.
So that's a 19. So that's a big one. So everyone automatically looks and is taken aback by this stunning plant visage woman.
I actually have a quick question then. Not in a creepy way because you are a flower. Are you a fragrant flower?
That is an interesting question.
Just takes a big whiff.
Well, if she's walking by,
Okay.
if we're sitting down right here and she's walking right by, that's generally close enough to smell someone.
Do you want my flavorful answer or my funny one?
Flavorful, funny. Do you smell like Rafflesia?
No, I don't smell like corpses.
Do you smell like Linda's trees?
I was gonna say I am fragrant, but only on my feet. But no, I imagine she'd have like a pleasant, like a tropical flower scent, because that's kind of the look I'm going for.
Yeah.
While you're walking up, I am in the process of still, after several years, trying to show addicts how 3-card Monty works.
I haven't learned.
He still just doesn't seem to grasp it.
I just have a saxaboom.
You would notice though that as Camellia comes by, you're taken aghast by them.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say as she walks by.
Song on the saxaboom.
No, I was just showing I had a saxaboom.
Oh.
As she's starting to walk up, I notice addicts get distracted first, which causes me to look over to see her walking by.
Just as the others, the moment you get to there, this individual over here raises the shotgun at you, Camellia, and says, "Whoa, who are you? What are you doing here?"
I was told to come here.
What's your name?
Camellia.
There's a few moments where you can tell something's going on, and then the woman says, "Yeah, no, you're on the list. Just stay there with those two. We're still waiting on some more individuals to show up. Once everyone's here, we'll allow you in. But for now, just sit tight."
Ari?
Addix, I like how it's just Addix is his first name now. Fuck Soul.
I have a question. Sorry. What is the weather like?
The weather, it's not a cold night because you are in the warmer season for Tzion, the planet that you're on. So it's a what I refer to as a warm summer's evening. That you can see that you're not fully into night yet, but it's enough of night so that the sun isn't out. But you feel a nice warmth where every now and then there's a slight breeze. And the breeze just tops off the warmth. You're not sweating. It's not that level of hot, but it's just it's t-shirt weather, is what I would describe it as.
Oh, can you do me a favor? Every time you use the saxophone, please play Clara's Whisper.
No,
Denied. But that's the weather. It's a warm t-shirt weather night with a slight brisk breeze every now and then.
Alrighty.
Addix will look up at Camellia and just kind of say, like, I imagine that because he probably hasn't been on Tzion as a whole for very long.
Mm-hmm.
I also doubt he's probably running before on.
That's up to you. If you
I imagine this will probably be one of the first
God, the
ones.
fidgeting's already started.
Oh no.
No, that's just what I'm doing when I'm bored right now. If I was fidgeting, I'd be doing this.
Oh,
But he'll kind of just look up and just say, I didn't think I didn't think the flowers existed here on Zion. Seems kind of a cityscape.
You're
Less of a nature
your
thing.
nails. Oh my god.
Yeah, I have to admit, I would have thought that the industrial life and your kind did not mix very well.
We don't. What's your point, though?
I'm just curious. You're probably the single most colorful person here.
Probably, I do my best to be that.
Whose TV's in the background?
Yeah.
I hear it, but I don't know whose it is.
I don't hear anything.
I heard it.
Yeah,
I just hear Hex's music.
Yeah. Zol just be like, I feel like I'm being a little rude here. My name's Zol Addix. Scullery here calls me Addix. You can refer to me as one of those two names.
Right. So, Addix and Scullery.
Yeah.
Interesting. And where are you from?
So question. This is actually a question I should have asked you earlier, Helen. So, if there was to be a large grouping of Twilights, on a planet somewhere, which planet would they most likely be from?
Well,
Like,
so all of the planets have welcomed Twilight Elves to form refugee camps or to take permanent residence, following the destruction of Twilight, because it was, it was what happened, and that they couldn't do anything about it. A lot of your people settled on Obrex because the living underground reminded you of the situation on your planet. So you could have chose to have come from Obrex, or
I feel like that would make sense because I imagine he was with a large congregate grouping.
Yes.
And kind of grew up to that. So okay, he would state, "Oh yeah, I'm from Obrex. Lived underground pretty much my entire life. The light tends to hurt me."
I don't think I could stand living underground.
It does have its downsides, but not dying is nice too. Sunlight hurts a little bit more than just my eyes.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what I'd do without sunlight, to be honest.
Well, it means pretty much. It seems like it'd probably be a large part of your dietary lifestyle.
If you want to call it that, that's fine.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are we just fucking Tim Allening here?
Because it always is Tim Allen's. That's what
Yeah.
yeah, we
It's just kind of like I'm a member of the once still proud but once great Twilight Elves.
He's been trying for the longest time to convince me of the same, but I don't know. I mean, I've never heard of Twilight Elves before him, so I don't know where he gets this idea from.
I don't know. I have a hard time telling elves apart, if I'm being honest.
Oh, damn.
That's kind of racist.
Damn.
I mean, it might be, but I'm not. I didn't grow up around elves.
That's fair. The biggest distinction between Twilight Elves and a lot of the other ones, the biggest distinction you would know would be our very odd color palette and our tattoos that we mark ourselves with. Other elves may mark themselves with tattoos, but not full body like mine are.
Oh. I didn't know that colors like that were odd.
You
I
might
love
be the
that.
most accepting person I've ever met.
And on that note of the most
I don't
accepting-
see color.
And on that note of the most accepting person I've ever met, Paracus, Praxis, it is your turn to reveal yourself.
B.A. Praxis, get in this bitch.
I swear, if you don't spell it
Get in
without...
the Dash pit. It's time.
Other cultures.
First off, are these like shipping containers? What
Yes,
are
they
these
are
down
shipping
here?
containers.
Okay. He's gonna slip in like here. Like he's
From the
just
shipping container, like he's shipping
Yeah.
himself there.
he's not coming out. He's not coming out, but he's coming around the corner.
God, I
Oh,
wish
okay.
this.
He's skulking.
Right, well, drag yourself on then, Devon.
Where am I?
On your character sheet.
Oh Jesus!
You gotta put your token on, buddy.
You're a big boy, Devon. I know you can do this.
I don't know if I've actually been taught how to do
Yes,
this.
you
You have
have.
been
You
taught.
absolutely have.
This reminds me of what I need to do.
Oh no!
You
Oh,
go.
no.
You go.
Oh
Jesus.
my god.
when does this come up?
Okay, Devin, go
And this-
to the journal section.
I love how I'm being taught this at the same time. It's
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Go-
but you have a reason to
Yeah,
not
you haven't
know.
done this. Okay, Devin, go to the journal section.
Yeah,
You see where it says characters?
yeah.
Drag your
Oh.
character onto the goddamn map.
There we
God,
go.
Look at all this power I have now.
all this power that you'll
Power,
forget
power.
next week.
Yeah.
Young Padawan, that was a power you always possessed.
Who knew?
You, because I've taught you this before.
Yeah, we've taught you this several times.
Yeah, it's maybe like a year ago. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Listen. He's skulking.
He's skulking.
Skulking.
He's skulking.
Are you
He's
are you
coming.
trying to remain unseen?
I wouldn't say he's trying to remain unseen, but he's coming around the corner. He's peeking a little. I would say
Yeah,
probably a stealth check.
Okay, so yes, roll me a stealth check, Devin.
Yeah, it's not necessarily attempting to be hidden, but he's peeking.
He's peeking.
Oh,
Right,
that's a good
so
stealth check.
Scullery, Addix, and Camellia, roll me a perception. I want to see if you can actually see Paraxis. Zol cannot. Scullery fucking
This
can. with
makes
first
sense.
crit of the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Can Camellia? Let's have a look.
Oh, I'm gonna say I'm not paying attention at
Oh,
all.
that's
I'm gonna say-
fine.
I'm gonna say his perception was probably low because he was focused on Camellia. It makes so much sense for Scully
That-
to be the one to notice, though.
That's 100% fine by me. If you ever feel like you actually would be distracted by something, by all means, don't do them. So, Scullery, you notice at the corner of your eye that there seems to be some kind of white mohawk peeking around that corner, because a white
You don't see the hair.
mohawk is not a great way to stealth.
The
No,
rest
it's
of his
not.
body is hidden, but the mohawk sits above.
Actually, additional question: the message that I received
Yes.
was it like a written letter, or is
No,
it some other thing?
you all received a like a data message,
Okay.
stating exactly what I said, stating that this is from the broker, and they're looking for individuals for a job. You have been seen as someone that has a particular set of skills that can be used for this job. To come to this place, if you do the job, you'll be paid 500 gold, but you'll also get items that are more valuable than that.
For some reason, I imagined when Devin's Mohawk started popping out that Smash Mouth started playing. Like
Yeah.
somebody.
Accurate.
So I would notice,
hmm
and I would lean in to Zol and Camellia and just say, this may be another one of our group. I'm not sure, but there's someone skulking around the shipping crates.
Upon hearing that, Zol will jump up onto the fountain, not knowing exactly where they are,
hmm
but will just start waving his long sleeves around. Hey, we're over here! You should come join us!
Praxis, you see that. You see that someone may have noticed you, and you see that Addix is like waving big sleeves around. What do you do?
He mumbles to himself. Praxis knew this was a bad idea. Okay.
As soon as Praxis steps out, Adam's like, wow, I can't believe that worked.
I'm surprised the guards didn't shoot you when you just jumped up like that.
So he's, I would describe him as like low to the ground, kind of hunched over. He's got like a cloak. It has a hood. He doesn't wear it. It looks like he could, but he doesn't necessarily have it on. It looks like he
Why
might
would
not
you
have
fuck
it.
up that mohawk?
Exactly.
Exactly.
There appears to be something strapped to his back. You could probably get a better look at it once you get close. But he looks like he's wearing rags essentially. Like this cloak is not put together. It's like basically torn to shreds. And you know he's just sort of stumbling up. He looks a little manic.
A little.
He stapled it to his back.
Yeah. Backwards.
Oh my god.
Zol will, as Praxis walks up, though, will turn around and just sit back down on where he was sitting.
Praxis thinks you are colorful. All of you.
If you're gonna do that voice, you need to do it louder because I cannot
Yeah,
hear you.
that's the only complaint.
Okay. Praxis thinks you are all very colorful.
I love this.
What were you doing over there at the containers?
Praxis was just trying to get a good look.
Get a good look at the flower girl? I mean, she's really colorful, but like...
That's kind of creepy.
You can just walk up and look at her.
Praxis wanted to be
Just don't make it weird.
Praxis doesn't know what's weird and what isn't.
That's alright. The only way to learn is through trial and error, right? And I look to the other two for reassurance. Because I also don't know.
Alex will look back and just kind of like shrug his arms with his floppy sleeves. Just kind of shrug like, I just got here.
I just got here.
As you say that, the one of the elves points their shotgun at you, Praxis, and says, "What's your name?"
When she points her shotgun, I was like, "You've got to stop doing that."
No, this is my job.
Praxis gave you to point shotguns at people.
Praxis is Praxis.
Your name is Praxis? Give a second.
Is Praxis.
She has a second as if something's going on. Right, your name checks out. You're on the list. Just wait with them. We're still waiting for a few more of you.
Praxis, no. He made Praxis come.
Wait.
That was dirty.
Don't. Yeah. What?
I couldn't resist, fucker. You did it.
Listen, this is gonna be a language funny. This is
All of a
gonna
sudden,
be a
his
thing.
back is just wet.
Well, you did establish that his dick is strapped to his back.
Why you like this?
Probably staples.
Please.
I'm just having to run with the lore everyone is establishing for me.
Guys, you gotta remember, we gotta show decorum.
Yes, decorum.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's fucking when?
Just okay.
Yeah, I was
Continue.
gonna say, isn't Hex kind of? Oh, I don't
Go
know.
ahead,
Continue.
David.
Praxis says hello.
Does anyone
Hello.
respond to Praxis saying Praxis says hello?
Oh. Yeah. I'll turn and look at him and wave at him.
Yeah, I'll also say hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Praxis.
He looks confused. But he looks and he's like slowly raises his hand to wave. He doesn't. He thinks this is how this works.
They're all so socially awkward.
Oh, just
No,
wait.
I just said hello.
Well, Praxis.
Wait.
Well, Praxis, my name is Zol Addix, and you may call me Addix if you so desire.
Praxis says hi to Addix.
My name is Scullery.
Praxis
You
says hi
can
to
call me
Scullery.
Scullery.
That is what we do. We do call him Scullery.
Praxis is confused. Praxis thought he heard the same name twice.
And this is.
I hope Devin's character shows up in Suicide Squad.
And this is Camellia, right?
Yeah, Camellia.
Praxis says
That's
hello to
me.
Camellia.
She's a plant. Flower.
Yeah.
A bit of both, maybe?
A little bit of both. Also humanoid and sentient?
Praxis asks, like flowers from ground?
Sort of, but I can walk. I mean, I'm on the ground right now, technically, I think.
Do your feet act like roots?
I don't think so.
Oh.
And on
I just
that
never
weird,
thought about it.
and on that weird question of do your feet act like roots, Sky, it's your turn to enter the fray.
Why are you making fun of the way I draw feet? Fuck you!
Well then.
Get
To
your
be fair-
ass on this map.
I was like, to be fair, Skylar, when I saw the shoes, I was like, hey, you made it look like your shoes are hooves, which is perfectly a Warpling character.
Okay, to be fair, yeah, I don't exactly know what happened with the feet drawing.
No, like, well, generally Warplings have hooves, so the fact that your shoes look like that just makes it look like you have shoes over your hooves.
So, but by the way, I should, because no one pointed it out. But the thing attached to his back, now that you can see, it's a shotgun. So they might have noticed that and been like, "That's a weapon."
Whoops! How the fuck?
Okay.
How the
Putting
fuck
that
do
out
I
there.
undo that?
What do you?
'Cause
What do you
it's
I'll
hard
do
to
it.
miss.
I'll do it. Why can't I select that line that you drew? I'll just get rid of all the stuff. Yes. So where are you coming from, Sky?
Good question.
We've already had some characters come from over here. We've had a character come from the crates. We've had a character come down from here.
They come out of the fountain.
I would like to tumble out of nowhere, like out of like a ridiculous spot.
Oh,
come
like
from over
why
here?
not through a vent?
Yes.
Okay, so you crawl your way from the vent of a nearby building.
Like Among Us just popping out.
Why do I keep doing that? Stop it!
So you've clicked. You're on the draw token, Sky. You need to click one of the other ones.
Alright.
That's what.
All right, I did it.
There you go. So
Max is so tired of me.
So Sky, I want you to I want you to roll me a stealth check, and then I want you to roll me an acrobatics check, please.
All right, here I come. Do I do this?
So you go on your sheet,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you look on the left-hand side. You'll see there's something that says stealth. You click it.
What the hell is the stealth?
It's right
Near
near
the
the
bottom.
bottom.
They're alphabetical.
So yeah, and now roll me an acrobatics.
Which is at the top.
Okay, so you come out of the of the vent of a nearby building very stealthily, and you do so in a very acrobatic fashion. How does your character get out of this vent, knowing that you're doing it in a very acrobatic fashion?
I was actually hoping it would fall out of the vent. But
I
okay.
was too, but you know.
Yeah, so anyway, I guess I do a flip and I land on my feet perfectly.
You do a little flip, you land on your feet perfectly, and sadly, roll me perception, all the people that are by the fountain. I want to see if any of you would actually notice this.
Notice me, senpai.
Sadly, no. So, yeah, Scullery would have noticed so far. So,
Scullery's like, God.
yeah.
I imagine that Scullery is the brains and the eyes of the operation between them and Addicts.
So, Praxis, can you roll me a perception? I want to see if you notice ash appearing from the vent of a nearby building. No, you don't. So,
No.
Scullery,
Just like real
Shit. Don't say
Scullery,
shit.
you're the only one that notices a red, ostentatiously dressed warpling appear from a nearby vent and do a perfect flip and a near perfect landing.
Bright red and green, invisible.
Yeah,
So
you're the only one that sees, though.
was the vent
Real life.
like from the building itself?
No, it would be from a nearby building.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
There was like a landing.
I think we have another. They seem to have just popped out of a vent.
Oh, which vent? And he'll jump up and look around.
Shoves you into the fountain.
Yeah, I get shoved into the fountain this time when he jumps up,
Yeah.
and my robes get soaked, which revealed the armor that I have underneath it, and I pull myself up out of the fountain, and I'm just glaring at Zol.
Like that, I'm like, how did you manage this?
You jumped up and knocked me over.
Now, I appreciate that you think I'm that strong.
Now, Sky, you're part of the group now, so you may interact with the individuals. You have been spotted. You are now here.
Come over, new friend.
Why is everybody hanging around a water fountain?
Because that's where we were told to wait.
Lest we be shot.
Yeah, I have guns.
At this point, Ash, you hear the click-clack of a shotgun as this individual behind you points one at you and says, "Who are you? State your name."
My name's Ash.
There's a moment of silence, and then they say, "Yeah, your name checks out. You're on the list as well. Just stay there with the rest of the idiots, and when it's time, we'll call you in."
Idiots. Just because I'm enthusiastic about meeting a new job, that's not good workplace etiquette.
Praxis thinks Praxis is very smart.
You can take it up with my boss if you think my attitude is that bad.
I don't think it's bad. I just think it's kind of sad that your boss doesn't enable workplace energy. Like, it's just so sad. Like, I don't know. Feel like a better boss would just help enable you guys to really want to go to work today.
Maybe just let it go.
Maybe just let it go.
Also, what was Devin saying?
Praxis wishes he wasn't made to come here.
Why don't you want to be here?
He made Praxis.
Yes, I actually have a Pokemon.
Okay, let Devin.
Sorry, go ahead, Devin.
Praxis says, "Never mind." He crosses his arms and sits down on the floor like a child.
Right, as we have these gathered individuals and Praxis sitting on the floor like a child, Starry, it's your turn to enter.
Entering
Here we
last,
go.
as she should.
The build up.
Yeah, pray for all our sins right now.
I'm praying.
I'm Farron.
Anyone who's looking to the left would see a very unique-looking creature that you have probably never seen in your lifetimes.
If anyone
You
wants
probably have never seen me in your lifetime either.
I know.
If anyone wants to, I will let you roll either a history or a nature check to see if you know what that creature is.
We'll do a history.
I will do nature.
I will do one of those.
Ooh,
Well,
I'm
fucking
big
big
brain.
dick Zol.
Big brain.
I don't even think he. I think he wouldn't know.
That's fine. If you think your character legitimately wouldn't have any idea, you don't need to.
I imagine the Twilight Elves do spend a lot of time recounting history and such.
Yeah.
Which is why I specifically was like, maybe at least we read about them.
Yeah. Camellia, would you think that maybe you wouldn't know, or do you think maybe you might?
Tara?
Camellia?
Tara!
Would you know?
What? No.
Oh, okay, no problem. Right, so...
Okay.
I guess that you
right.
the first time.
Yeah, no, he said no.
Sorry,
Oh,
I
that's what I
didn't
thought.
hear, my bad. So, Zol, you would know, maybe on your travels, you would know that there's a very specific, very strange little creature that exists on Usurus called a wobblegog. They are very small little creatures that live in the forest that are very very playful in nature. They often come out at night, and that's how you've probably maybe noticed one or two of them. But and the reason they come out at night is because they have a natural camouflage of looking like a starry night sky. And you've just noticed that one is very much out of its natural environment and is over in the corner.
He will immediately sprint to the other side next to Ash and kind of he'll just be like, oh, "Are you a wobblegog?"
First off, you'd notice that. First off, you'd also notice that despite looking starry, she is also wearing a very bright rainbow-colored armor set, and she is carrying a parasol and a star shield. So she stands out extremely.
I can show you all the parasol that it seems.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Cute.
There it is.
I love
There it
it.
is.
Yeah.
I hate everything about her character.
As she was walking in, you could see people would recognize a data pad. They would also recognize she is holding it the completely wrong way. And is like screaming at it, "Hello! Hello! Where is the place you wear houses? Where?
Friend, over here.
Voice!
Praxis knew he should have gotten drunk before this.
It's so cute!
Friend dog, over here. Friend Gog, over here.
Friend Gog? Where is Friend Gog? Friend Gog? What is a Friend Gog? Hello?
You are Friend Gog.
No, I am Wobblegong.
Yes. You are a natural friend of, or at least us Twilight Elves explicitly like you quite a bit.
In the lore.
Yeah.
In the world.
Elves.
I've had the privilege of meeting some, and I have heard many great deals about your nighttime camouflage. Words are tough for me today.
Excursions.
Excursions, thank you.
She just keeps
I'm only having a stroke. It's okay.
Are you an animal or one of those
You
people
can't have a
things?
stroke till the first.
No, that's true.
May I pick up Caitlin's character?
You need to go up to Kate. If you want to go up to Caitlin's character, see if you can try and pick him up. Go up to him.
What did I get for my 17, if anything?
Nothing.
Okay.
They're such a rare creature that I actually made the DC to know anything about them 19. But
Okay.
Zol critted it, so yeah. So Ash has come running up to you, Starry. What do you do?
He looks up at her and goes, "Hello."
Do you consent to being picked up?
She does not care. She's like, "Do you know where the place you wear houses is?"
Yes, it's here.
Oh, okay. I have found it!
So, Sky, are you literally holding up like Starry like a little child, like a little baby?
Yes. This is mine now.
Starry is just looking at her hair. She's like, "Oh, right. Wait, no fur. Oh, are you animal thingy or people thingy?"
Are you animal
Hello?
thingy or people thingy, Sky?
I just want to answer that.
I don't know. That's on your character. How do you answer being called? Are you an animal thingy or a people thingy?
Neither.
Neither. There's your answer.
I'm going with neither, man.
Starry gets more confused. And like she's just tilting her head and thinking, "Oh dear. What is other option? What is neither? Why? You confused, Starry!"
At this, the elf turns around the corner and goes, "What? You, the weird creature. What is your name? What are you doing here?" You. Yes. What is your name? You.
Me? Oh, and at that she just lets out like a musical little chirp, and it sounds like notes. And she just said her name in Wobbegong.
No one here understands Wobblegong, so the elf looks at you and blinks and goes, "No, what is your name?"
Oh,
that's right. You do not understand bubblegum. Oh dear. Which language? Oh, I think this is language. You understand this language?
Yes, I understand the language you're speaking. What is your name?
My name is Starry. Nice to meet you.
Okay. Takes a moment. Yeah, right. Okay, you're on the list. That's all of them. Can you all just please come over to the entrance to the warehouse? You can come in now.
Are we going to be given houses to wear now?
No, that's not. No, you don't wear houses. That's not what a warehouse. It just.
No, Carl, you're staying for the rest of the game.
No.
Alex will gesture over to the elf with the shotgun and is just like, don't bother with it. Their people are one of whimsicalness. Deep explanations will only further confuse you and them.
Right.
Praxis agrees.
Starry is gonna motion for Ash to put her down real quick.
Ash, do you put her down?
Yes.
She's going to run over Paroxys and just like poke at his hair and go, Spiky, you're spiky. You use this to ward off predators?
Praxis has been known to do this.
Praxis' natural defense is his hair.
Me, I blend in. See, I blend in very well. Oh, not here. I don't think.
Hey, Starry. That's your name, right?
Yeah.
Might want to move towards the door before they get mad at you. You don't want to make people angry, right?
Which door?
This one over here. Follow me, and he'll wave his floppy sleeve over.
Yippity doo! I like your face things. Oh, and flower.
Takes one of us to know that.
You look like people, but you are a flower. Wait. What are you?
Why, Praxis wonders why Praxis agreed not to get drunk before this.
Because you're a mature, responsible temp worker. Good job.
I'm still wringing out my robes.
Are you still on about that scullery?
You would notice that the elves have moved a bit closer and all have their shotguns more actively at the ready. One of them near the front will say, "Okay, you're all here now. Please come up to the door. I'll unlock it and let you in. Our manager will speak to you."
Jeez.
Finally get to speak to the manager.
What is manager?
Give me a quick minute. I'll be right back.
That's fine.
He'll put both his hands on his hips, like kind of puffing out his chest, triumphantly at the door.
Manager? Are you a manager?
No, I'm not a man. Just listen. Just everyone get in. The elf hits a series of keys on the pad right next to the door, and then I will, when I get the right tool.
Don't fucking say "mommy manager." I swear.
So this is the room that is opened up in. If everyone wants to file their way in.
Alex will walk all the way in and stand right before his desk put his hands back on his hips again and just be like, "I am here."
I will follow Zol.
You can see Starry is running around looking at everything, going,
What's this? This is this? Oh, hello. Do you talk? No, you don't talk. Okay.
Ash comes in, basically sweeping the place.
Go on in. Paraxis.
Where's Spooky?
You want to come on in? Come on in, buddy.
Okay, I'm back.
Come on in. The door's open now, buddy.
Mr. Spiky! Come on.
I was seriously hoping we could have left her outside.
Right, so
"Don't be mean. I'm working hard."
everybody,
I love it. Kate.
I love it too. I love the energy for it. So you all come in, and I'm just going to describe what you see and what's going on. So this is the inside of a warehouse, but what you can see is that someone has very specifically put a very large, ornate table in the middle of it. That has a series of books and a data pad on it, and there is a very fancy looking sofa that has been dragged in behind it. As you would have entered, you would have noticed to your right, sitting on some crates, is this individual. It is a green-skinned, elf-like looking person that seems to be smoking a electronic cigarette. Behind the table, sitting.
Vaping, are you?
And on today of days.
Behind the table, sitting in the sofa, is this individual. They are you can tell by looking at them, they're a Psi human, and they seem to have orange glowing eyes. They are wearing a very fancy, very well kept black business suit that seems to have a few little gold chains dangling around its white collar. They also seem to have a small skull emblem attached to the lapel of their jacket. Right next to them, you would see there is a hulking big shark man.
I remember him.
Shark?
Yeah.
I will say at the sight of this shark, Starry is going to jump up and down excitedly, clapping her hands and start speaking. How do you say the shark language?
Salosapien.
Sapien.
Salosapien. Okay, yeah. She will start speaking that.
You would notice that as you start speaking to it, it pulls a shotgun off its back and cocks it at you.
And Starry is going to not understand, and she's going, "Hello, Sharkman, hello."
And
Brexis is very interested in where this is going.
as you say hello and you see the shotgun, a voice comes from behind you and says, "I wouldn't really talk to him. Bull is, well, a bull shark, and he isn't too prone to liking people talking his language that aren't his people. So I'd suggest that maybe you limit your social interactions with him." You would then realize that it's the individual sitting on the crate that is talking to you.
Starry is going to become sad, and her little horn things are gonna droop a little bit.
She's gonna be like, oh, Sharky. Oh, Sharky. Oh.
As it goes deadly silent for a moment, as Astra takes another long drag on their electronic cigarette, the individual behind the desk finally pipes up and looks at you all and goes, "I knew that you were all a ragtag group of individuals, but I didn't half expect that you would be this ragtag."
Don't blame the Wobblegong too much. They're a very unique case.
Praxis possesses many rags, but does not tag.
Wait, are we going to play tag? I like tag.
Ash decides to hold Starry's hand like they're a child.
Yeah, she's gonna boop Ash's nose and go,
You can't reach.
"Oh!" But she's gonna boop her stomach, their stomach, then and go,
Can you even reach that?
I don't know how tall
This
Starry's character is.
table is slightly taller than you, Starry, is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, she's just tiptoeing, looking over so she can see the person.
We play tag? Tag, yes.
I'm picturing the size of a Furby.
Yeah.
They're 4 foot. They're 4 foot.
Okay.
Her actual height.
Yes.
You know right?
Right.
And let's not bring up this discussion of Furbies because I will bring Furby cryptids.
Right.
Oh
No, just talk. Hex,
Right.
go.
Since you're all finally here, I can actually start to speak about this job. Please listen to what I have to say carefully. I'm not a man that likes to repeat himself, and I will not repeat myself. All of you are here for a very specific reason, and that's that all of you are individuals that my broker believes can get a job done that I need done. All of you seem to have talents in regard to espionage or making your way into places that you shouldn't be. Some of you are here simply not because you have those skills, but because you're good at brute forcing things and getting things done the way that my companion Bull does with force.
Alex smiles to that one.
He would reach into his jacket pocket and take out a actual cigar, and you would notice that he clicks his fingers, and a small flame appears at the tip of his finger as he lights his cigar. He takes a smoke of it and then blows the smoke specifically towards all your directions.
Starry will give a cough and be like,
I don't like this. What is it?
Lazol will blow it slightly upwards away from him.
I I don't even react to it.
You would notice
He
that
will now, Starry will now go behind Ash.
you
She's
would
afraid.
notice that as this happens, you start to hear a something play on a radio behind you. If it plays.
Dramatic.
Silence.
Hello and welcome to Zion Newsfear. Top story tonight. It has been 14 days since the terrorist attack on Accelerated Industries Building 43, and no suspects have been charged in connection to the case. Night Captain Siegfried of the AAF has declined to comment on the case's progress. The AAF has taken over from the Zion Peacekeepers after a 2/3 vote was held by the Astral Alliance Command just hours after the attack took place. The attack was the largest amount of life lost in an attack of its kind in the last 100 years.
As you can hear, the time is perhaps right for a little trip into Accelerator Industries vaults. Following the attack, they are trying to upgrade security on every one of their buildings, but in doing so, they have to empty them out of the organic components. I am asking each and every one of you to venture into one of these buildings, make your way into their vault, and to get a specific item for me. This is something that you would all be capable of doing, correct?
I suppose it depends on the item.
Starry will look at Zol and go,
What is vault?
Wait, what?
What is vault?
I couldn't actually understand what you're saying.
What is vault?
Vault.
Oh, what is vault? Addix kind of just looks down at Starry and was like, "Vault is where they keep things. They keep things they like."
They
Do you
keep
keep
things.
animals there?
They keep things that they don't want taken. Sometimes animals can be put in there, but very rarely.
Praxis looks
Maybe
very
there's no
nervous.
box.
So, I want you to go to Building 13, and I want you to take something from their vault. Now, when my companion contacted all of you, I offered 500 gold. That is not the money you're actually going to be paid. I was more interested to see if you would actually come. If you manage to get into the vault, and you procure the item that I need, I will pay you all 10,000 gold each. Is this satisfactory?
Yeah, sure.
Sounds good to me.
Praxis
Sounds good to me.
Praxis says yes.
Starry looks around confused.
The man behind the desk that has not given you his name takes another long drag of his cigar and says, I've been informed that there was another companion of yours, Paraxis. I don't see them.
Praxis doesn't want it.
Starry will
I look
There are two.
I look back as now there are suddenly two of him.
Two Mr. Spikies! It's two Mr. Spikies!
I must apologize for my friend.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I told you not to come out. I know. But now it's time for me to explain. You didn't tell your new friends about me.
To be fair, they don't know anything about us either. That's fair trade, I guess.
Yes, well, he's a rather secretive one. Now, Praxis, I can already feel it inside your mind. You're wanting to back out. I think it's a little late for that, friend. So, let's get our head in the game and say to all of our new friends, we will be very assistive in what's about to come next. Right? Suddenly kind of combine, and you can see that his eyes are now like almost like this silky, shadowy thing, and his voice begins to come out of him. I don't do this often because it is technically his body, but just long enough to explain. He and I are one, and it's in my best interest to keep him alive. Let's put it that way. I'm not going to come out too frequently, but you may call me Fade. I am, let's just say, tied to his soul, and if he is in mortal peril, I will come out to assist. That being said, I do tend to help him out in actual combat when it comes up, but I don't tend to latch onto him this directly unless it's necessary. If any of you wishes to speak to me directly for any reason, let him know. I'll pop right out. I don't necessarily need to take on his form to do that. It's messy, and it is his body after all. So, and then they shatter out again. He is like he's almost like it's almost like a silhouette. Like he's faded and shadowy. Like he's
Get
all
it? He's faded.
yeah. There's another pun in there if you could figure it out. Yeah.
We don't care.
Dominic, the individual behind the table would take another drag from his cigar and say, interesting. I was aware that you had a companion with you. My notes said that they looked like you. I assumed it was a brother of some sort, but this is something far more unique, but not unwelcome.
Praxis wishes he would stay put.
Anyone else got any weird secrets they want to share with the class?
Oh yes, by all means, if you have any weird secrets, please do talk to each other now. I'd rather you get it out of the way rather than on the job.
Is there any corpses laying around?
No, I don't keep.
Okay, well then I can't show you my weird stuff until we kill somebody.
I mean, I can show you my weird thing, but I don't know if I want to.
That's fair.
Anyway, if you're all still in agreement to do the job, my green-skinned individual friend in the corner there will be the one that'll actually be taking you on the job. They're the one that knows the exact deposit box number that the item is hidden in, and no matter how much I try to persuade them, they won't actually tell us. So they will be leading your little expedition into Building 13. As this is said, the individual hops off of the crates and turns off their electronic cigarette and places it in their pocket. Well, you see, the thing is, I kind of can't tell you what deposit box is in. Because if I did, you'd probably kill me, and I would not be as useful anymore. And I can't get paid until I get what's out of that deposit box for you. So for now, it's better if only I know what's in the deposit box.
People are only as useful as the knowledge they have, so...
Yeah, the Twilight
You're kind of
Elf
right.
gets it.
I am not a Twilight Elf.
I think they're a drow.
I am a drow.
He puts his sleeve up to his mouth to cover it when he says that too, just to pretend to be sneaky.
I punch Zol in the arm.
It's a little playful punch. So as that's happening, the individual behind on the seat gestures for Bull to get something, who then reaches over to here, procures a long kind of gym bag and tosses it onto the table. The individual referred to as the manager takes another drag from the cigar and says, I'm not asking you to go in without any assistance, so I've procured you some party favors. In this bag you will find 6 shrapnel grenades, 3 flashbangs, and 3 smoke grenades, as well as 6 stim packs. If you need them, if things get dangerous, by all means use everything that you have. The building is relatively cleared out. Most of the organic components are gone. And it's just laborers. and a few robots in there to guard the place. Astra has a map of the way to actually get to the vault. I don't suspect that you'll run into much opposition, but I'd rather you be fully prepared than go in and need something and not have it.
Zol will just kind of look at him and say, "Neato," and he'll pick up exactly one stim pack. And he'll pick it up, and then you'll see him stick it into his... Like, you'll see him pick it up with the outside of his sleeve and then stick it into the other sleeve.
I will pick up the bag of everything else.
You just pick up the whole bag. Just go for it, yeah?
Yep. If anybody's going to stop me, they can
You're
stop
going
me.
to try and stop Scullery from just taking the entire bag of gear.
Zol's used to this. He's not going to stop.
Anything that Scullery drops, Ash will pick up.
I mean, I will dish it out, but there's no point in dishing it out before we get there, is Scullery's thought.
Praxis has no
Zol-
objections.
Zol will look at the group, though, and say, I think our stylish friend had a point, though, in saying that we should have some idea of what each other's capable of. Otherwise, me and Scullery have worked together for a while, but we haven't worked with any of you, and so, it's best to... You can't dance with someone if you haven't at least had some level of, knowledge about how they move, if that
This is untrue. You can dance with anyone. Dancing is fun.
The little one there has kind of got a point. You kind of made a bit of a weird way of explaining that. You can't technically dance with anyone as long as you ask and they say yes. So that was a bit.
Yeah, but you can't dance well. It won't look good.
Star will look at the...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay.
Nope, you started.
Star will look at the individual behind the desk standing on her tiptoes.
And she'll be like, we were promised also items that we might like.
Yes, that's in the vault. It is a AI Industries vault after all. There is more deposit boxes than just the one that Astra is looking for. If you get into the vault, you can take anything you want from any of the other deposit boxes. I don't really care. As long as I get what I need, the rest of those items, take them, leave them, sell them, whatever.
Well, okay. I think. Hopefully.
So, I guess if we're going to be working together, you'll need to be able to see this so you're not surprised by it. He says it's something whatever Twilight Elves can do.
It's only certain types, not all of them.
Oh, whatever.
Praxis, not sure where this is going.
I stepped into Zol's shadow and disappear.
So you have just seen a figure step into someone's shadow and disappear. Does anyone have any reactions to this?
Praxis screams.
Alex does like a little Tada pose.
Okay, so they are in.
I am literally in his shadow.
Yeah, you can't see them. They're gone.
Starry is looking around frantically.
Where did Friend go? Friend, where are you?
Scullery is in my shadow. A form that's a thing that's capable only by those of the Latay clan.
Starry will come over and look at your shadow and go, "Oh,
Hello, friend.
This trick is
Come back out.
familiar to Praxis.
Oh dear.
It seems a little bit different than in your way, buddy. Their soul isn't attached to me. Their body has just dipped in for a bit, and they can leave whenever they want.
Ash is taken back in confusion, but mostly speechless.
It is different to Praxis, but it reminds him of it.
It's fairly similar.
I got a question. If someone tries to attack your shadow, does it attack them, or are they
Wrong.
completely safe?
They have to attack me, and then he says, "I have ways around that, though." And then outside of his outside of his droopy hands, out of his droopy sleeves, will suddenly shoot out 5 claws, claw-like fingers, like actual just metal claws that have some light on them.
Well, so you get a cool sneak attack?
No, I was trained to fight with these. Also, something I've been working with Scullery, because usually us Twilight Elves have the ability to manipulate the world around us in order to do things. As such, in a shadow nearby, in some dark area in this room. How dark is this room? Is there any dark place in this room?
All of the kind of the corners of this room are quite dark, because what I want you to imagine is that there's a single light overhead. It's just one light overhead. So there's some darkness around here. Just like darkness around here, or like in the corners of the rooms are what I would refer to as darkness.
So out of this corner specifically, a like dark hand that has like similar marking. Well, you guys haven't seen his full body markings yet, and also his hair color. So it's like black, blue, and orange. A hand will come out of the shadow itself and kind of interact with these three.
A mysterious shadow hand has appeared and is interacting with Ash, and Praxis and Starry. How do you react to this?
Whoa!
Starry jumps up shocked and she's like,
No. Enemy attack! Enemy attack!
and tries to hit it with the parasol.
Praxis is just staring at it. He's staring at it, but he's also admiring the claws.
Yeah. He will look at. I would like you to know that it's like it has a semi-physical form.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're swinging your parasol at it, it kind of phases through it slightly unless it wants to touch the parasol. And then he'll say it's not an enemy. It's quite literally a manifestation of my Twilight bloodline. The other little trick I have, because I'm mostly
Manifestation. Got it.
Yeah. A little bit of my own little, I guess, talent as we have it is mostly to deal with the dead and those that we kill, specifically in combat. I believe most of us here should be familiar with the Architect's Architect's Rift.
Yeah,
it seeps.
Scullery, do me a favor. Roll me a quick perception check. You would notice that while this is happening, Astro has reached into the bag and has taken one of the stim packs.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, and he's like, I kind of use that power because it's a part of me as well, as a Twilight. And I use that to commandeer corpses because their hosts no longer needed them, obviously.
I find that quite interesting that you commandeer the dead and make shadows that I guess you can probably hurt someone with, or like at least try to do something with.
They can grab a hold of people, and they have a little bit more range as well. It's useful if I need to tie someone up who's being bothersome at a distance.
Well, interesting.
I specialize specifically in hand-to-hand, hence the claws. He swingles his 5 claws around out of his sleeve.
Praxis would Praxis be able to take a closer look at those claws?
You see, I just got this. Astra reaches into her cloak and pulls out a gun. It should be appearing to you now.
What's that right there? A gun!
It's a gun.
Yeah. Gun!
I do not see the gun pop up.
I didn't
I don't
either.
know what it's doing. It's not actually opening the thing for some reason. It's opening the other stuff, but it's not opening that one. I'm wondering if it's open somewhere and I can't see it. Because I know it has done that before. 1 sec, I'll just reload Roll20. Roll20 did that thing where I reloaded it and it put me in a completely different game. That was wild.
What?
Yeah. Okay, now it's appearing. So
Did
now...
you just show up in somebody else's game and they were like, "Who the fuck?"
No, it was one of my own games. So it should
That'd
have
have been fucking funny.
It should have appeared now. I've hit show to players. Has it appeared now?
No.
No, I don't see it either.
It would have been funnier if you showed up in a random ass game and if nobody knew who you were.
Praxis will react to what you're seeing as soon as I stop fucking sneezing.
Can you see it now? There it is.
Yeah.
So you notice that Astra pulls this out of a holster hidden under her kind of cloak and gestures towards it. Yeah, I just got this on a knife, but it does what it needs to do. Everybody, so Scullery, Addix, Paraxis, and Starry, roll me a perception check really quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Sheet.
Alright, let me see.
Fuck you, Devin.
Let me see if it can be hidden. 1 second.
I don't know what I got yet because I'm very far. There we go.
Yeah, he's behind. So let me do it. Wow.
Well.
None of you would notice. None of you notice it. Cause
not even the 23. Wow.
No, because the stealth check was fantastic. But, yeah, so, but you all saw that Astra pulled out that gun, kind of showed it, gestured it to you all, and then slid it back in a holster. And she did mention that she also has a knife.
Well, just because I have a reaction to two different things, and I think one of them happened before the other. So yeah, he was looking at the claws that he was being shown, and
Yeah, the claws you would notice are metal, and it seems like they have unique markings imbued onto them, and as such have little lights, almost similarly lights on them that glow slightly.
Praxis also tends to attack people with claws, just more physical ones. I like how this looks. Did you make these?
No. This is one of many style of fighting that Twi'lets use.
Praxis admires it greatly.
When you go to look at the claws, I step back out of Zol's shadow.
Mm.
Alright, so Paraxis,
sorry, because then the gun thing happened.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that would be the moment when Praxis would be like, Praxis also has a gun. Then he pulls the gun off his back, big old shotgun, and that you will notice has an engraving that says, I'm just going to throw it out because that's the only way to do it.
Says Toots.
It says Toots on the front.
Note to self, edit in canned audience laughter here.
No, that's dishonest. There was no laughter.
That's the name of the gun. It says Toots on it.
Yep. And it's not like fancy writing. It's very crude.
It's really crude, scratched in the word Toots.
Yeah.
Why did you write Toots on your gun?
Yeah, why did you write Toots on your gun? That's kind of a weird thing to write on your gun.
It's the name of Praxis's friend.
Who the hell's Toots?
Praxis is holding them.
Wait, hold on. Wait, so your gun is called Toots because your gun is your friend.
Well, it's not like... Praxis knows Toots is not person, but, Toots help Praxis.
Maybe you need better friends.
I think so, but that being said, so I've got a gun. Paraxis has his own physical claws and a gun. You have your actual metal claws, Alex. I can see that the weird little creature has an umbrella. How about you, Shadow Worker Scullery? What do you got?
I have a few items on me. I pull out the couple daggers that I have for close range. I pull out from my robes the Magitech rifle, and from around my around my wrist, I unwrap the Thunderball.
Right, that's a bit of a weird one. I thought the claws were a bit weird, but that's a strange weapon.
Praxis doesn't like to talk about it, but when Praxis is in fights that are serious, Praxis is assisted by fate.
That would be
Praxis.
handy.
Praxis doesn't want to call him a friend, but he can use most of what I can.
Right then.
It's fine. To answer your question about the oddity of it, just about every weapon everyone has here can set off metal detectors. This one doesn't.
Well, mine doesn't.
That's why I said just about.
Right.
So if people see this, they think it's jewelry.
What about the other two of you? Green over there. What can you do for us if it gets to a fight? They are gesturing to a camellia at this.
Well, hopefully it doesn't get to a fight. But if it does, I've got some magic that I can do.
Alright, that's good. You got anything to help us keep it not in being a fight?
That's almost everything I'm capable of doing.
Well, that's perfect. Hopefully these people won't have to use their array of weapons if you can try to keep us out of a fight. So I don't imagine the rest of them are any good at keeping us out of a fight.
Go ahead, Alex.
I have some tricks of the trade, but I'm much better in a fight than out of one.
Starry will say, Starry has magic too! And then she will just go, Kara's gonna fucking kill me.
Oh, hell yeah.
She will take out the umbrella, twirl it around, and say, Super-tastic powers activate! And go giant form.
Wait, what were those words?
Super rude-tastic powers activate.
Rune-tastic?
Rune-tastic.
Yes.
So
I hope there's a magical girl transformation coming.
what I want. This is just a bit of flavoring for what's about to happen. Scullery, Parakis, Addix, and Ash all make me a
Con save.
No. Make me
Athletics check.
an athletics check, please. Or an acrobatics, whichever one you've got is higher. So, Zol, you managed to get out of the way in time. Scullery does not. Paraxis, make me either an acrobatics check or an athletics check. Scullery doesn't either. It took a moment. Yeah. So, Paraxis, you managed to get back just in time. And Zol, I imagine you might jump on the table, but you managed to get out of the way in time. But Ash, you are sent flying back and knocking onto the floor. So are you, Scullery, as the normally 4 foot Starry suddenly becomes about 10 foot and becomes a large character.
Hello!
That I was not expecting.
Give us a warning before you do that next time.
Oh.
Oh, my head.
Praxis.
Oh, no.
Praxis. Praxis, so small thing, go big thing.
She'll go. Star will go over to Ash and like pick her up and go, "I'm sorry, Ash. I'm sorry," and just like hug her.
I stumble back and fall into Camellia and eventually pick myself back up and I apologize to her. Normally I'm more graceful than that.
Right.
I just was not at all expecting something like that to happen.
Yeah, Starry will jump up and down excitedly, still holding Ash.
Starry, roll me a athletics, please.
Oh, this is gonna suck.
Oh no, don't smush.
And because you're large, you add a d4 to the roll. So roll me a d4.
Oh,
So, Ash, you
29.
are literally being crushed by this giant creature that is just holding on to you and hugging you and leaping up and down as you feel the wind being pulled out of your lungs as they're just grabbing onto you as hard as they can.
Absolutely cursed.
How does Ash react to this? You're being grabbed and hugged and you feel your lungs being crushed.
Tries to pull away but cannot.
Roll me an acrobatics. I want to see if you can try to weasel your way out of this hug.
Okay.
You gotta beat a 29 though.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Skills acrobatics. No, you cannot.
No.
You are being crushed by this creature.
The next song's
Starry will
called Get
see-
Fucked.
Starry will see Ash struggling, and she'll go, "Oh, sorry," and hurriedly put her back on the ground.
But yeah, Starry uses super runtastic magic.
What even is super runtastic magic?
Rex is very scared.
Starry is very glad you asked.
Praxis is begging not to be crushed.
I'm regretting having asked already.
She'll twirl the umbrella, and you'll see a special mark on it.
You see this mark?
Yes.
It gives me powers! Same with the one on my shield. See?
And as that happens, you suddenly go small again. Because a minute has passed.
Oh.
And Starry just goes,
Wowsy!
How many times can they do that?
They could do that their proficiency mod amount of times a day. So you
Okay.
just used one of them up.
"Yes, I did."
2 more
Maybe-
uses.
Maybe don't do that here.
Oh, well, yeah, but we were showing each other what we could do, and I thought I should show you.
In Biggin.
Maybe tell us that you can do that as opposed to showing us.
Okay. But yeah, my rune-tastic magic has special abilities that can really help us out.
Alright, so
It gives me special attacks.
we've got a bunch of people that like to fight, someone that desperately wants to try and keep us out of a fight. We have the little cuddly animal that can become a big cuddly animal. Right, Red, what do you got on to offer on the table?
I got knives, and I manifest.
I got knives!
I could cut a bitch.
Okay. And then I manifest these holographic-looking knives that basically they're holographic all over the entire blade and handle, and basically kind of like matte, like entirely on, and it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but like,
What color?
They're holographic, so they're like multiple colors.
yeah.
Cool.
Alright, you got knives. I guess that'll help your. Are they metal or what?
Well, since I can manifest them and not manifest them, technically not.
Oh, so
Maybe-
it's like in your mind.
Maybe show us?
They have them in their hands, so
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
that's fine.
Right. Praxis wants to know if they actually hurt when you stab them into people.
I would say they could stab me, but I couldn't take the damage.
Have you ever had to stab someone with them?
I'd rather not talk about that.
You
I'm
know,
gonna
it's never
take
come
that as a
up.
Yes.
Starry will just say, anything can hurt if you stab hard enough.
Whoa.
It's concerning when you say that.
This is very alarmed by the small fluffy one's aggressiveness.
She seems to have gone kind of sociopathic there for a moment.
What is sociopathic?
While we're
Don't
gone,
worry
the
about it.
previous creature, known only for their love of cuddles and their even larger love of blood.
No.
They love
I
two
would
things.
believe it.
They love two things: cuddle and the taste of man flesh.
I mean, it is
More.
Caitlin.
This is
Yeah.
canon.
This is canon. So as this, the man behind the desk would get a bit annoyed, having almost smoked the entirety of his cigar, and goes, "Well, now that your little show and tell scene is over, however you get into building 13 is up to you. I have supplied, if you look in your little bag, some identity badges that will at least get you through the front door. But once you get through the front door, the rest is on you."
But Starry already has an identity.
I'll leave
I
the
will,
one.
grab a badge, a singular badge.
So if you
Does it
look at the
look like-
badge, yeah. So if you look like a badge, it doesn't have a picture. It's not got any images on it, but you do know that it has a barcode on it.
Cool.
I will pick up the bag, having already noticed that one of the stim packs is missing, and I'll hand out badges to everyone intelligent enough to take one.
Alright, so everyone now has a identity badge, and this will help you get into the building itself. But the manager has explained that that's it. That's all he's going to give you. That's enough to get you into the building, but the moment you get into the building, you're on your own from there. As I said, there was 4 shrapnel grenades, 3 flashbangs, 3 smoke grenades, and 6 stim packs.
Quick question, Mr. Manager.
Yes.
Do you try and actively tell the quadruplets out there to not have a good time at work?
They are my bodyguards. I don't tell them not to have a good time at work. They just seem to have a bit of a attitude, that's all. Is there a problem with
okay.
that?
They were getting real fun with that shotgun.
Well, they haven't had a chance to use them in a while. You may be giving them that chance.
I did never give them a chance. Not that it's scullery, but some of us did.
I grow bored of your antics. You can leave now.
You said 4 shrapnel, 3 flashbang, 3 smoke,
Yes, and then 6
and
stim packs.
6. Alex, you took one of the shrapnel, right?
No, I took one stim pack and that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, a stim pack. Okay.
Yeah, so Astra took a stim pack and Zol took a stim pack. So that 6 goes down to 4.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because I was adding everything to my equipment.
Wonderful. So I'm going to pose it to everyone now because I know that some of us are a little under the weather. We can leave it there, and then we can, when we do the next session, which will be session 2, we will pick up with you actually entering building 13 and the shenanigans that happen in the building.
Is it going to start with us there?
Yes, it will start. It would start with you. That if we
Okay.
stopped now, it would literally start with you guys entering building 13.
Because there was something I wanted to do right as they left that room.
Okay, well we could do that, but let me just get this answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before we do that, and that's that. So we can end here, and we can start with going into building 13 with the next session, or we can maybe go into the first room of building 13 and see what predicament is caused by going in there. I leave it up to you. The reason I say that is because we've going for about 2 hours, and I know people here, at least one individual is feeling a bit unwell, so I just want to test that before we continue. Devon, either way, I'll let you do whatever it is that you wanna do when you're leaving here. So how are we feeling?
I was gonna say, it's ultimately up to
Tara.
Tara and how she feels.
I was gonna go to bed soon, just because I've had some late nights the past 2 nights.
That's
So
fine.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, okay. So
Do we want to decide when our next session is?
not in this conversation right now because I'm still recording,
Okay.
but we'll sort
that's
that
right.
out afterwards. So, Praxis, what you're going to do is going to end it, so no pressure.
Yeah. So as they're all
Give us
just
a
sort
happy
of
ending.
no. So as they're all leaving the room, presumably, his little ethereal, shadowy friend will pop out of his back and look to everyone else in the room and just kind of go, "I need a minute alone with him." Praxis will be back.
So everybody goes outside. Oh, you're going to do it outside? Okay.
I kind of assumed it was as they were leaving the room.
Okay.
So he would kind of wander, and then he would presumably rejoin them after.
Okay. Do you want to reveal what it is you do, or do you want to leave that as a surprise?
I think it'll be the kind of thing where it's out loud, but he's kind of away from everyone.
Yeah, no problem.
They're not
I'm
hiding
roll
it.
perception on it because that's what Scullery would absolutely do.
Yeah, it's not being hidden, but he's not near you.
Okay, so
per se.
I will bear that in mind. So roll me a perception check, Scullery. Roll me a stealth check, Devon, and I'll make it a little bit harder because you're actively trying to move it away. So deception is 21. Yeah. Roll me a stealth check.
Yep.
Okay, so they'll have an idea of what's going on, but I'm going to say no one else would because no one else has actually tried to look. So, Praxis, do what you need to do with Fade.
What do you want? Well, I can hear it in your little brain that you're trying to run away still. Now remember, it's an awful lot of money, but that's not why I think you should stick around. Praxis doesn't think we need to be here. Praxis thinks we have enough money, and it's fine. I'm sure it must be. But to be honest, I think it could be a learning experience. Learning experience. I think all of them are fascinating, and as someone that resides in your mind, I can already tell that you're beginning to like them in such a short amount of time. You can't hide it from me. All right, now, you know the drill. I'll come out whenever it's absolutely necessary, or whenever we are engaged in real combat. Other than that, you're in the driver's seat as always. If you desire my presence, I will be here. I know you don't want that, but, well, I think we both know by now that this is how things are, don't we? All right, well, I believe your friends are waiting for you. Ta-ta. He fades back into him.
I'm going to leave it at ta-ta because I think that's a really good way of ending it. That's the end of it.
There was one thing.
Oh, what's the one thing, Devon?
Just that as he goes back in, he just starts scratching at the air.
Okay. You start manically scratching at the air. So that's it for now. I'm going to cut it there.